Hey everybody out there, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. In this review we are going to be reviewing the DC comic books that were released on April 2nd, 2014. We got a small pile this week for DC Comics. Usually we have taller piles. This was the best time, in my opinion, to implement the new layout for this channel, especially because I did the update yesterday. I said I was going to do the review a day later, and there weren't that many books. This was a very quick week of reading, both from DC and Marvel. Indie books we usually read throughout the week, so I can't tell you about indie books yet. I'll let you guys know later on, except for the ones that are monthly. So let's get into the books from this week, guys. The first couple of books, Batwing issue 30, let's just get into them one by one. Batwing issue 30, I want to hold on to this book, I really do, I really do, but because of the interruption with Gothtopia, and then the interruption with Zero Year, this book has suffered due to those two crossovers because the story kept hiccuping, and this story actually is on the heels of Gothtopia. It actually, believe it or not, guys, you're not going to believe this, but this story is actually continuing from the storyline in Gothtopia because Luke's sisters were abducted during Gothtopia. So this is continuing. So this is still, without the title, it's still from Gothtopia in a way. So now Luke is gone looking for his younger sister, his baby sister. Luke's other, other younger sister, the older of the two sisters, is basically, was drugged out of her mind, and now she no longer will be able to function without care for the rest of her life. And he's mad. And believe me, he says that multiple times in this issue. And he's in this underground city underneath Gotham. I mean, this is like the 5th underground city under Gotham. I mean, there's an underground, and then an underground, and then another underground. I don't know how they do this. Maybe there are tons of different cave systems, and that's why there's tons of undergrounds. And this issue is really nonsense. It's about Batwing just basically looking for his sister. You get one page of Lucius Fox talking with Batman, saying, you know, his older sister was full of drugs. His older daughter was Tamara was drugged out of her mind. His youngest daughter is now missing, and now Luke's missing. And Batman keeps saying he's going to find Luke, and Tiffany promises. Tiffany's the youngest daughter. And he's looking for Luke. He's looking for the tracking device in his costume, and he just can't find it. And Luke is still underground. He gets screwed over by one of the people he meets and befriends in this underground society. And he betrays him to Mother Anubis. It becomes this big brawl between Batwing and her followers, and then there is one page with the person we got from Zero Year that he was friends with, and they turned out to be enemies, talking to Tiffany about how, you know, this is all his fault, Luke's fault for what's going on. And then we finally get that confrontation at the very end of the book where Luke comes face to face with his friend, and it's like, okay, it took a couple of issues, but now do I care about the next, you know, how this is going to end anymore? I mean, for some reason, I just can't. I mean, ever since the crossovers, it's very hard to hold tight to Batwing anymore. I'm trying my hardest, but Batwing is making it very difficult, and it's because of the crossovers. Batman Eternal's coming out right now, guys. That's a weekly series. Batwing is on the line, so to speak. It's right there on that line. That line could snap before the next issue even comes out, depending on what's coming out, what's going on the week that Batwing comes out at this point. It's a very thin line. I know a lot of people drop Batwing again because of all the interruptions, but I'm still enjoying Batwing. It's a lot better than the first Batwing, so I'm hoping that maybe it'll drag itself back up after this story arc, so I might stick around. However, with Green Lantern issue 30, it's like, what the hell's going on at this point? We're still in the fight. We're still in the war. They're knee-deep in the war. And now, about 10 issues later, now, Hal Jordan is doing the memorial for Kyle Rayner and saying, you know, Kyle sacrificed his life in order for us to be here today. Let's go beat the Kun. Let's prove to the world that we are, you know, we're here to provide justice. Let our light burn bright, yada yada. They go to this space sector 05171, and it's to meet with this guy who has a Kun warship, and he has a weapon of theirs. The Kun are also there. Not the Kun, the no, Kun. Yeah, and basically, in order for them to get the machine, there has to be a fight between Hal Jordan and one of the Kun, the captain. And if Hal Jordan loses, the Kun get the other 2 Green Lanterns. And if the Kun loses, basically Hal Jordan gets the weapon, and they lose their strongest weapon against the Lanterns. So it's a big fight. You know, there was a nice scene in the pub where you think they're gonna actually start to get along. It's a lot of bullshit. I'll tell you guys the truth. There's very little action and a lot of bullshit in this issue. And then it gets to the fight, which is basically what? 4 pages, and then Hal Jordan wins. Shocker. And then we find out that the Kunda are even dirtier a race than we thought, but they're like, this is why nobody likes you, Green Lantern, because you judge everybody, etc., etc. Mook Mook, yes, I'm not joking, that's a Green Lantern,
Mook Mook
finds the Durland that's basically been in the ranks of the Green Lanterns, the leak, so to speak, and the Durland, like, I surrender, you can arrest me. He's like, no, I don't think so, and he kills him. He says, for what you've done, I cannot let you live. And he kills the Durland, and then the other Lanterns come and they're like, why did you do that? That's the whole issue. This whole issue was bullshit. And it's at points where it's like, it's so boring at this point.
Are you going to drop this book? Because
I am on the verge.
I am on the verge.
I'm on the verge. I really am on the verge, because it's like, really? What's going on in Green Lantern except bullshit right now? This war between the Durlands and the Lanterns has been going on for about 10 issues now. Ever since the whole
Lights Out
ended. Even before then, the seeds of it were being planted.
I think it was after, because after it was kind of getting a little I think, and you know what it was really? I think it was really after Jeff Johns left.
It is after
I think
Jeff
that was the
Johns,
real big effect.
Absolutely. And it's like, come on, at this point, let's go, guys. You know, kick Green Lantern into gear or leave the book.
Well, let's get into something better, and that's your superhero. Trinison, the Fam Stranger, issue number 18. With Ariel Blight over, this whole story is basically Fam Stranger helping out Superman, because Superman is actually seeing Dr. Light, and along with the other souls, and he tries to get into like Superman's head. I'll show you the artwork, the full page, by the way. Right there. And then as the issue continues, we get Fam Stranger talking with Angel Zorel, and Fam Stranger is just saying, you know, he's seen life through his like own redemptions and everything, and you know, he wants to basically know what path to take for his own self, and Zorel wants to help him, and Fam Stranger's like saying, you know, like I don't really like he wants to basically do it himself, you know, because, and also he feels the effects of when his wings got torn off and stuff like that. So the Dr. 13, who has a new lab now, he sees like some stuff, like how can I say this? It's like a magical incurations, like a supernatural sort of thing of a tornado.
You've been on this page for a while.
Yeah, I was just looking. So we get to the part where Superman, you see the emotion Superman gives in this comic book, because Dr. Light's trying to get in his head, like saying, you know, all the people you tried to save, you know, you couldn't save them all and everything, and Fam Strange's just like trying to cope with him, like saying, you know, like just not to let him get in your head, you know, and like the crime syndicate was using you and stuff like that, and he just doesn't want him to feel guilt and everything, and Superman is just so mad, and he tries now to save everybody because Dr. Light got on his head. Then we get Cassandra Croft with her boyfriend and everything, but that was just like one scene. So Superman just says to him that I'll accept you fully, like to take the punishment of what he did to Dr. Light, because he feels it was all his fault, but it was a crime syndicate's fault for making him use that heat vision. So he just tells Phantom Stranger to just back off, and he gets burned and everything. And then he actually snapped in and found out it wasn't really Dr. Light. And I knew this because I actually thought it was the Sin Eater. I finally realized that I knew it wasn't someone that was tricking him. So he had faith in him basically because he knew that he wasn't going to like do anything else in a rash way. So,
That's it.
Oh, I thought there was... Yeah. Next one seems like Madame Xanadu is going to be in this, so... It's really weird how we're seeing the Justice League Dark teams, like, in different...
well, this is the magic side of the DCU.
And I was just about to say, it's the magic side of DCU, and it will be nice to see Madame Xanadu and Phantom Stranger team up a bit, so... Almost book of the week though, but it was a really good read, and Superman at least shows emotion in this one.
Thank you, God. Which he does also in a few other books, but Action Comics issue number 30. I completely forgot that this was taking place right after the whole Lana Lang story. Well, Superman's going after the tower, but in the beginning of the issue, and as you can see here, it's a prelude to Superman Doomed. In the beginning of the book, they find the tower, I believe this is Tower Control finds Doomsday. So Doomsday's back on Earth. But when Doomsday comes face to face with people, he basically ignores them, and the old Doomsday killed everything.
Right.
And Doomsday just disappears. He kills the people, but unintentionally. He went to just disappear. So he disappears, but we go back into the present where Superman's going after Tower. He breaks into Tower, and he comes face to face with Harrow, who basically, Superman says, every time I do something good, every time I save somebody, every time I do something, you're there and you change it. And then she flips it on him. She says, you talk about you and Wonder Woman, you almost caused a nuclear blast. You talk about Baka, you almost started an underground war. You talk about those little white monkeys you saved, they almost endangered the entire world. You even killed Dr. Light. I love how she brought up Dr. Light here too. And then it turns out, she says, if there's anybody who's not needed, she's like, we're needed. You need to leave, as in Earth. And then she sends a whole bunch of ghosts after him because she has the ability to raise the dead.
What is it with ghosts going after?
And then she's like, you know what? You could just kill me right now because one little puff and I'll vanish and I'm gone. And instead of killing her, he reaches his hand out in good faith, and she's like, incredible. This proves that you don't know what it takes. And then the book ends with, and I left out a whole bunch of middle for you. And it says, whatever, they need to, it's time to wake Doomsday, or whatever Doomsday has become. So, what does that mean, whatever Doomsday's become?
That's something interesting to find out.
Very interesting. So, really not too much with Doomsday. The very beginning and the very end. And then there's the main story. And, of course, the main story ended, too. So, next issue is going to be all about Superman Doom. It actually says to be continued in Superman Wonder Woman issue 7. But I believe this issue is going to be the one where this month's issue is 6. And that's going to conclude the Zod and Feora story. So, looking forward to Doom, but I'm very hesitant because Lord knows what it is. That's what I'm worried about. What is Doom? What's it going to entail? And it's going to shake up everything in Superman, I have a feeling.
Yes. And my book of the week has to go to Green Arrow number 30, Outside's War, Book 5, Family. And from last issue, we found out that Green Arrow died, where actually he did not.
Who didn't see that coming?
I really did not actually see that, because I really thought that... Well, I'll explain it. Basically, in the beginning of the story, we see Green Lantern... and
Arrow.
Thank you. Green Arrow, his father, and Shadow, Oliver just wants to do things by himself, and his father and Shado just say, to go after Komodo, by the way. And the father's target is Komodo also, so they decide to go with him. And they show Arrow waking up, and it was Magnus, the one that could shift stuff. And I didn't really actually think he does all this shape-shifting and stuff. So it's basically them against the clan, and artwork's really nice. Like, it's just excellent every single time I read this comic book. Katana actually helps out as well in this comic book. And Komodo and Emiko are, like, he's just telling more lies to his daughter about Shado and everything. And this is what really got me. Richard Dragon is now going to team up with Count Vertigo. I put down a book and I said, wow, that is really awesome that Richard Dragon and Count Vertigo are going to team up, because I didn't see that coming. And that's actually great to see Count Vertigo again, even though I'm not too keen about villains and stuff like that. But I'm just saying it's like a good team up. Not that I'm 100% about, but, I'm just saying. So, it's now Shado against Komodo, along with Green Arrow. Like, he's just like saying, like, you're still not my father and everything, and he's just trying to snap him out of it, saying, I made you the man you are today, so, you just gotta do what you gotta do. And then he's like saying, oh yeah, well, they have like little conflicts with each other about money and stuff like that, and there's just lots of other dialogue you can see. Someone makes a sacrifice when Emiko steps in the way, and someone else gets it. And this time I'm for sure it's not going to be a shape-shifting thing. It's not Green Arrow. It's actually somebody else. Find out in this comic book. Book of the week. I mean, with Count Vertigo, Richard Dragon teaming up, and the whole story itself, I was sold. This book actually, genius. Book of the week for DC. Absolutely must get.
2 books left, and they were really enjoyable. Detective Comics, Francis Manapul, Brian Buccellato, issue number 30. Oh, yes. Now we erase everything that was Gothtopia, and we are in Utopia. New story, new artwork, beautiful. You guys see it in all your preview. It's previewed in every single DC comic this week. And basically, it's Batman. You get at the beginning of the book is all about Batman just being Batman, and then we get into what the main story is. And the beginning was really good. I don't want to spoil too much with Batman. So Bruce Wayne is meeting up with this woman. I forgot her name, Miss Angelia or Elena Angelia, and basically she wants him to fund her to what was it? To get the Gotham East End waterfront to support her with the Gotham East End waterfront, so this way she can help build it up. And he's like, why? And there's mention of Zero Year in here, where she saw Bruce doing his big speech about things, that it's ever transforming. It's a transformative city that Gotham is, and she wants Bruce to help her. And he says yes. He was gonna say yes from the beginning. And then the, what was it, the mayor? Congressman Sam Young actually makes a statement saying he's surprised that Bruce Wayne decided to go against his plans, which was basically to knock down everything and build up, I believe it was condos. No, they were going to rebuild it. It was going to bring millions of jobs and millions of dollars of revenue to the city. He's surprised Bruce Wayne is actually helping support what's there already. And it turns out that he is working for somebody else. And that's somebody else who's part of I want to say a gang lord, or maybe looks like a kingpin.
Oh.
And he wants to send a message to Bruce Wayne, and unfortunately he does send it in a very gruesome way. I don't want to say the ending. There is a lot of Damien in here. There is mention of Bruce Wayne's son, and there is those moments still where you see Bruce remembering his son. But then, like I said, the ending happens. I'm not going to spoil it till the next issue, but this story, I don't want to give too much away, because they did it. They did it with Flash, and they brought Detective Comics back. I'll be back for the next issue. This was really good. This team is a golden team. You guys, when you're done with Detective Comics, maybe you all should go over to Green Lantern and try to fix that up, huh? Please? Brian Micheletto? Francis Manipole? You're doing a great job with Detective Comics. First issue, and I'm already hooked. So I would hope that this team would go over to Green Lantern and help out, because it would help. This was my favorite book of the week. Earth 2, issue 22. We all saw Green Lantern die.
Right.
He's not dead. The Earth, spoiler alert, brings him back. And he is, as the book says, mad. And apparently we're in a new story arc. It's called The Kryptonian. This is the second part, but it's all connected to what's going on. So Val is now coming into his powers. His name is Val Zod, by the way. I don't think he's the son of Zod, though.
I don't know. And like that, I don't know.
He's coming into his powers because now he's been exposed to yellow sunlight. So now he's, getting his powers are developing, and he's learning, and he's trying to shave, and he can't because the razor breaks. So, and then you have Superman who's saying, he goes to Sloan and says, I want to know where this other Kryptonian is, and he finds out where the Kryptonian is, but it turns out that he goes over the footage, and it turns out that he finds out that Batman already took Val, and they basically took Val. So they go to Gotham, and you have Val doing some flight training, really nice artwork. I'll show some more. The shocking part isn't here yet, folks. So the Parademons show up, and it's Red Tornado, aka Lois Lane, and Hawkgirl versus the Parademons, and Val's basically running off. However, the Parademons are not alone. They also have Superman. However, Superman is confronted by Red Tornado, and she actually says, Clark, it's me, it's Lois. And for the first time in this entire book series, that heat vision eyes that Superman had... Sorry about that, guys. Apparently the other camera decided to die out a couple of minutes before it was supposed to. So I was saying, the heat vision eyes that Superman had, after he's fighting Val, or well, he's basically beating the crap out of Val because Val's not fighting back. I'll tell you guys about Val in a second. The heat vision eyes, he finds out that Red Tornado's Lois Lane, and for the first time in this series, the heat vision's gone, and you actually get to see Superman's eyes, and you see him kind of like minorly snapping out of whatever he's under. So apparently, that's what this is to my belief, Superman is under the control of Darkseid, because it even says here, Darkseid already has a Kryptonian, he has no use for you. And you just see, for the first time ever, you see Superman's eyes since the series began. And Val also, we find out that Val was raised by, in his ship to Earth, his parents who were scientists didn't believe in violence. They thought violence was the stupidest way to overcome issues, and he doesn't really want to fight, but we all know that he's going to have to. But for that moment where Superman actually breaks out of whatever he's under, whatever crap he's under, that's an awesome way. Tom Taylor, you bastard, you're doing an awesome job with this book. I'm loving Earth 2, and I from where it was when we first started Earth 2, from issue 1 through whatever we were before I dropped it, this series has just picked up. Tom Taylor has saved this series, and not only saved it, but made it one of my one of my top 5 books from DC each and every month. Whenever I get it, that's the first book I want to read, and I actually purposely leave it for last, so this way I can enjoy it.
Yeah, I do that too
sometimes. Every time I have this book, once a month, whatever week it comes out, I love it, and I'm excited to read it because you don't know what's going to happen next, and it's just a spectacular book. If you're not reading Earth 2, trade paperback your way up to where we're at now, because this is just spectacular. Even with the reveal that Batman is really Bruce Wayne's father, spectacular. I can't say enough good things about Earth 2 right now. Yep. And with that, that's it for this week's DC comic books, guys. So feel free to leave in the comments below your thoughts on any of the books we read here, recommendations, etc. Your thoughts on the new layout. This is the way things are going to be from now on, including what's going to be coming with the indie review and the future monthly reviews. So that should, if you haven't checked out the update video, by the way, go check that out. I uploaded that yesterday, and I purposely did this review or these reviews a day late, so this way the update would be on for a few days and you guys would see it. So, as always, guys, don't forget to check out Comic Related and ComicFrontline.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. We got a lot of stuff coming out, and going on Comic Frontline, so look forward to that.
Yep.
If you're new to this channel and you enjoy what you see here, please do subscribe. This way you don't miss out on a single video. There's a lot of big things coming, big change as of this week, the first week of April. The big change starts now, and it's going on now, literally, with these reviews. So guys, thank you so much for sticking around with us tonight. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in the next review. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.